Do you wanna come along with me? Come along with me. Do you wanna? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right. Gonna keep on running, grab the fun and live it light. And tomorrow's far away, should I let the party fade? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, let us go tonight.
Hey guys, good morning. So I'm just here to discuss a little bit more about Hyperjar. I went live last night. It was a hot mess. I was tired. Then I recorded a video and the battery died, so that was a hot mess as well. So I'm going to pinpoint the main issues that I've seen people complaining about or bringing up. So the first thing is Hyperjar is not a savings account. They do have the H money option where if you're purchasing from any one of their partners there, you get a 4.8 AGR, so annual growth return on whatever money you've put into that pot with that partner. I want you guys to be aware that if you put money into these partnership jars, you are not able to withdraw the money or move it to another jar. Please do your research. I did not talk about Hyperjar for all of the extras it does. I spoke about it mainly from a cash envelope replacement standpoint. You guys know I used Ping It, and an issue many of us had with Ping It was that we weren't able to create as many jars as we can on Hyperjar. Hyperjar is basically the jam jar system that some credit unions use, that when you want to save for different things over a year, over 2 years. That's the system that they use. It's not a savings account. Please do not close your bank accounts down. Hyperjar is against this. They always say to you, keep your main bank account open, because that's not what they're for. Okay? It's just a system where you could control and manage your money better, especially when you're on a budget. I have said over and over in my videos, do your research. If you follow me on Instagram, I say do your research. Okay? It does the card for children, which encourages little children to save and be more mindful when they're using money. By the time we're in our 60s, 70s, cash will be probably a thing of the past. Okay, everything's going to be digital. So if you get your child in the habit now at a young age of using a debit card responsibly, they won't have the issues of falling into debt, falling into overdraft usage and all of those kind of things. I feel like I was getting really stressed out because I think some people ran and probably, this is just an assumption, put money into the H money option where they think they're getting a 4.8% return. That is not what it's there for. It's a partnership program. Any money you deposit into that, you have to spend with the particular partner that you topped up with. Now, I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to, because I feel like things are pretty self-explanatory. If you want to find out more, just keep watching my channel whilst I'm using it, and hopefully you'll be able to decide whether or not Hyperjar is a thing for you. I'm not saying to run out there and get it if you don't feel confident in getting it. It's mainly used for me, okay, as digital cash envelopes and digital sinking funds. When I save up a certain amount, I will transfer it into a high yielding savings account. Okay, that is what I'm personally choosing to do. You do what works for you. So I hope that this sort of breaks things down for everyone who seem to have had an issue or concern in regards to Hyperjar. It's not, and I repeat, it's not a replacement bank account. It is not a savings account. The 4.8% AGR, which is your annual growth rate, okay, is to be used with their partners. I personally don't think I'll be using that option because I make my purchases on my credit card, as I was saying last night in my live. So if anything happens, I'm covered. All right, that's what I personally do, and I'm not going to change that now. I, Gracia, strictly use this for cash envelopes and digital sinking funds. So everything is just easy to separate and easy to look at. All right, so whatever you do is on you. I don't want anyone blaming me. Do your research. We're all adults and we're all responsible for our own choices in life. There's no issue with the cards as far as I'm aware. On the app itself, it's got a little question section, which I showed you guys in Sunday's video, where you could find out more about Hyperjar, how to add money to it. You could find out about the H money, all of those kind of things, the sharing pots and all of those things. Please be responsible when it comes to your money, all right? I personally don't want my money to be trapped into any sort of system. So with Hyperjar, I could withdraw, as in send money back to my link account electronically or into a different jar electronically, and I could deposit money from my linked bank account or from any bank account using my Hyperjar account number and sort code to top up my Hyperjar wallet. It's pretty easy, guys. It's pretty easy. Don't need to be stressing, but if you're not comfortable with getting it, please don't get it, all right? Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe.
It's not that I don't care.
You can see at the top it's got my cash. Now, I think what some people were worried about is that they can't transfer money from their jars into other jars. You can do that. I shared that on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram because it's easier for me to upload things and do quick edits and put it on there so you guys can see the functionality opposed to doing it on here. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go in my groceries jar. Okay, you can see it's linked to the card. I've got 10.77 left, and I am going to send money to my jars. Okay, and I'm going to put it into my wallet, and it says at the top the amount I want to put £5. You don't have to follow the reference, but I'm just going to put dummy trial. Okay, just in case later on I'm like, what was that? Then it says confirm payment. You put in £5 into the wallet from the groceries. Confirm. Done. As you can see, my groceries no longer has 10.77, but it has 5.77. We're going to go back, and you're going to see in my wallet, which is the first one, the first jar in blue, you'll see it has £5. You could transfer back into your linked account as well. I'm not going to do that because it's just, actually, do you know what? Let me do it. Let me do it. All right. We're going to go back into groceries again, and I'm going to have to blur some stuff out, but I'm going to put send money. It comes up with jars, linked bank account, scan QR. I'm going to click linked bank account, and I'm going to say I'm transferring 5.77. Okay. And I'm going to say dummy trial. All right, I'm going to click next. It's got the confirmation page there, and I'm going to click confirm. I have to enter my passcode. Payment successful. 5.77 moved to linked bank account from groceries. Done. So as you can see, my groceries jar is empty. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is not to show anyone up, but to show you guys it's very similar to Pingit. If you were a Pingit user, it works the same way. Now, where people are getting muddled up, you guys see 4.8% and you run to that without reading. Now, I'm going to check a few of you on that respectfully. Now, we're going to go into the offers, okay? And I told you guys they've got stuff here with their partners that if you click on it and you top up, you could only use whatever you top up with, what's this company called? Klarna. So if I top up, I'm not going to even do it, you get 4.8 annual gross return, okay? So if I top up £100 to Klarna, at the end of the year, I will only get £4.80. That will be my annual gross return. Growth, sorry, I keep saying gross. That would be your annual growth return of 4.8% a year. It is not a savings account, guys. Please do not take all of your money out of your bank accounts and put it into Hyperjar. This is a digital cash envelope system, okay? Please, guys, I'm getting really stressed out. I am, because I don't want to be responsible, and I won't be responsible, because I did say to read and do your research, okay? I didn't come on here shouting from the rooftop to say, oh my God, they give you 4% savings. They don't do that. You have to sign up with your partners, and whenever you top that up with whatever partner it is you've chose to top it up with, you could only spend that money with that partner. You cannot withdraw that money. You won't get it back. It says that in the terms and conditions. Guys, be vigilant and don't do nonsense and then get worked up saying you can't transfer money back to whatever. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not there. Please read. Reading is fundamental, okay? It's just frustrating when you take your time out to do research and bring a product on that you have no affiliation with, but something that works similar to an old product that I was using, and then it's just like all of this drama. It's like draining, okay? It's draining, but like I said, I'm not trying to offend anyone, okay? So those are the offers. If you want to go with Dyson and you top up, you could only use that money with Dyson. You cannot return it to any other jars. You cannot put it back into your link account. You can't get that money back, okay? You have to use it with that retailer. All right, I don't use it personally. Any purchases I'm making where I need to have certain leverage, I use my credit card, okay, or I use a debit card, but more or less my credit card. Any purchases that I'm making that's big, that I know there's going to be an issue coming up in the future or something, or there's a high chance of something going wrong, I use my credit card. I keep the money aside, or have half the money and I put it on my credit card, and that's that. We are going to go into the bit that says how to Hyperjar. This is the bit that a lot of companies put when you want to know about their products. If you want to learn about the products, this is where you go. All right, I'm going to click on it. How to Hyperjar. We're going to start at the top. Create jars. It says think of an everyday spending category like food or clothes. Create the jar, or perhaps a longer term goal like a sofa or a holiday. I personally wouldn't have a whole chunk of money in Hyperjar, right? I would, if I'm to have like £1,000 in Hyperjar, I would then transfer that into a high yielding savings account if it's not something I'm going to be touching within a month or two. Do you understand? That's what I will do, so it could gain interest. That's just my personal thing. It shows you to simply name your jar, set a spending goal, pick a color, and you're all set. You could create as many jars as you like, then move money from your wallet and divide it into jars so you can move your money around, okay? It says there. It says you could transfer money. This bit is important. How to transfer money to your Hyperjar wallet. Copy your Hyperjar account details and use your name to set up a money transfer from your bank. To start with, it could be anything from £10 to £1,000. To get the most out of Hyperjar, we recommend you try £100 if you can. You can always add more later. When you set up the transfer, your bank app may show Modular Limited. That's our FCA regulated account provider, and they keep your money safely at the Bank of England until you spend it. Hyperjar is not FCS regulated because they don't lend your money out. Banks lend your money out. That's why it needs to be FCS or whatever that thing is regulated. Guys, knowledge is power. It says funds appear in your wallet instantly or in a few hours at the most. For your security, your card must be activated before you can spend or withdraw money from your Hyperjar account. Sharing jars. It says forget joint bank account or clunky spreadsheets, share bills or fund money and spend with family and friends from shared jars. You can share each jar with up to 100 people. Yes, that many. The possibilities are endless. Friends, family, colleagues, school, group. Go to the jar you want to share, tap invite and choose how to find your contacts. Personalize your message and send the invite. If your friend isn't already on Hyperjar, they'll need to register before accepting the invite. All on board. You'll see share jars on your home screen. Members of the share jar can pay in and link their cards to it. You can even set a spending limit for each member. So if it's 5 of you, you could set a spending limit of £10. So you guys top up £50 and everybody has £10 to spend.
Wanna shake that ground.